Hello my guys, welcome back to Akins TV channel, and please subscribe to this channel. Click the notification buttons because we are always having very interesting things to share here, and don't forget to like what we are doing. Share this channel information with your friends so that they too can subscribe and come on to gain what you want to gain from here. Now this morning, what I want to ask you is, what is your main? There have been so many reasons dropped by people, diverse opinions. Some people feel it is so far, like it is the end of the whole world. Like my dearest Yoruba people will say. So, once you're not going to walk there and you're not going to mount on the backs of camel, you're going to take a flight down there. I think there is no place you cannot get to around the world. Go and inhabit every part of the whole world. Just go with the instructions of God, so you are good to go. Now, for some people, they will tell you that Australia have wild animals, and this day I want to talk about that special species, that creepy creature. And why am I bringing this on is because there was a snake bite in Queensland, an uncomfortable news. But then, when you have a look at some things around too, you may just think, well, maybe and maybe not. I've had people who have resided in Australia for like 2 decades and they haven't sighted any snake. And just like Uncle Charles said the other time, you will see here, he said the first and the last snake he had seen was in the zoo, and that was about 8 years ago.
And how many snakes he has eaten, how many snakes he has seen, he has killed in Australia. And he's going to tell you guys, because I know many of you don't want to go to Australia because that's the land of anaconda. Uncle Charles, welcome on board, sir.
Thank you for having me. And
so, yeah, we are here today, and my first question, I know will be a shocker, but then I would actually appreciate a very truthful response to it. You've been in Australia for like 20 years, we said. How many snakes have you seen?
Well, I think the first and the last one I've seen is in the zoo. And this will be like maybe 7 or 8 years ago when I took the kids to the zoo. So I remember that we saw a snake coven in the zoo. I haven't seen any live snake, and trust me, I don't live in a metro area. I live in regional city. There is a bush park everywhere. In fact, I go for bush walk. I go for bush walk every now and then. And I've never seen any single snake.
We've interviewed some people here from Australia, like our own Zini Mama Izini and our very amiable Dan Ladi. They haven't set their eyes on snakes since over a year or close to 2 years that they've been there respectively. Some people, like this person said here, some Australians love snakes. Some hate them and some are indifferent. Some snakes are harmless and others are venomous. The venomous ones are probably less likely to be good candidates for friendship. That is if you want to make friends with snakes. I don't know your reasons. You may be the second Eve of this time, or yeah, maybe you want to make a friend chat with them, get some apples from them, which I will not encourage you to do. And there are facts you need to know about Australia, why they are famous for their snakes. And first thing is that those snakes will run at you as a human being. The first sight of you, they run away, like most animals in most situations. And we did hear that they have few snake bite deaths over there, and that they have great access to excellent antivenom. Come to think of it, when I had my NYSC somewhere in the northwest, there were lots of snakes around those areas. Honestly, snakes. We used to see them loads. Lots of people being brought to the hospital, and we never had an occurrence of post-snake bite deaths at all. That was in Nigeria. state specialist hospital then in Jalingo. Whoever served there that is seen this can actually attest to that. We used to see loads and loads of snake bites in the accidents and emergency unit. That was where I had my NYSC then, and we had a way of treating them. The antivenom were always very much available. So yeah, it's just knowing what should be done and doing them at the right time. And another reason is, if you do get bitten, you are very unlikely to lose any of your limbs because you'll be taken care of. It's not like a crush injury like that. It's not like they are causing gangrene to that leg that the bite has affected at that point in time. Not so much likely. And Australia has pride in herself in having the world's only snake number detector kits. Maybe if you can get that in some northern parts of Nigeria, they may be helpful. And which part of Australia are mostly affected by snakes? Like the snake bite that happened just some hours ago happened in Queensland. And most snakes in Australia are really found in Queensland. So it's known for the diverse snake population, and I think I've heard or read that Australians have about 166 snake species. Honestly, yeah. So, and you can almost always find these snakes in the East Coast, Southern Australia, and Northern Territories. My friend who just moved not too long to Adelaide actually seen a snake and they call it snake catcher. So what should you actually do if you see a snake? And we learned that little kiddies, children have been trained, people have been trained right from a very young age on how to sight and escape from snakes. The moment you see them, they too would have that intuition to run back. So you should start backing. You stand still briefly and start backing off gently. So it's a game of backing off because they too will want to run away. You don't run ahead. I know some people that will want to run ahead. The places where people love to make snake pepper soups, such people will want to run ahead and have a chat with the snakes. You actually know what I mean by having chats with the snakes. But this time around, because you are not actually allowed to kill snakes in Australia, you are not allowed. So you are not carrying snipers and just tesoje like that. You know, some people will just say tesoje. The moment it touches the skin, they will start maybe dying or whatsoever. You are not allowed to do that. So you should back off gently. And the encouragement, the advice, or the counsel is for you to keep kiddies away from snakes and your pets. You are not actually allowed to leave kiddies to be on their own because some kiddies might actually see them and think they are strings, especially these days that we have diverse things that are string-like that kiddies play with, like the cord with which you charge your phone, the cord with which you charge your laptops. They have 1001 things that look stringy like that. Your Hoover plug, so many things are looking like that, and they might want to explore around with them. That's why you are not allowed, it's not advisable you leave your kiddies that are not wise enough to be playing all alone. Then you should also keep your pets away. Don't allow your cats, your dogs to be playing around with snakes. If there's anything like that happening around, you shouldn't allow your pets to start chasing them. What if they chase them and the one they are chasing is running towards you? So you don't want such hazards. Then, if perchance you see them in a room, you are to back off gently, close the door against them, and put something to block their road, their way of gaining access to exiting that room. And when you've done that, you just phone the snake catcher and they will come close to you. And yeah, these few things, if you can do them, or maybe in entirety, you should avoid places that are snake endemic, like places like Northern Territory. I can excuse why Northern Territory could have lots of snakes. Snakes in most situations, you find them in those very hot places. When you find them, they want to come into cold places to cool off at some times. And if they are and in most of those hot places too could really get very, very cold at times, that these snakes are looking to get themselves warm when the sun is coming up. And so could just be like this, maybe one of the reasons why we have them. Then the East Coast, the South Australia, all those places, you can find them so many, so many. And so you may want to avoid such places when you are planning to get your job. So, and if you are living in places extremely rural areas, honestly, like the interview I had with Mr. Ola the other time, we talked about him going to have a shift in the rural area. He did not enjoy it. Pay was good, but he said this car was written off because he had an encounter with kangaroo. You can, if you go to live in the rurals, there might be incidents like that. So please and please and please, you may start thinking of those places where you want to stay when you want to work, or those places you don't want to stay, and gear your job search towards those areas that you think, or you are thinking you might feel safer. But please don't trade your Australian dreams because you've been hearing there are loads of snakes, of wildlife travails down there. Please and please and please make it an effort. People have been staying safe. You too will actually have a very safe landing. I wish you good luck in all your endeavors. Snakes should not stop you from pursuing your Australian dream.